Hi, welcome to this STAIR Tailored. I'm Sarah Powell from the University of Texas at Austin, and we are going to focus on how to add integers using a positive and negative mat. So we are going to add the following two problems. We're going to add 4 plus negative 5, and we'll also add negative 2 plus 6. So let's see what this looks like. Now when I'm adding these integers, I always want to have my problem presented. So I've just written mine here on the side of my paper. And the first problem we're going to solve is 4 plus negative 5. And we're going to do that over here on my positive and negative mat. Notice that my positive and negative mat is oriented so that I can think about a number line running across the top of it. And so this side of the number line, this is where my negative integers fall. And this side of the number line is where my positive integers fall. And I'm going to use these colorful buttons today. You could use anything you have in your classroom. You could use paper clips, or if you have any other type of manipulative, those would work well. So let's start with 4. I need to put out 4 buttons. So I'm going to go ahead and get 4 buttons here. And I'll place them here in the positive side of my mat because this is positive 4. Now to this, I'm going to add negative 5. So I'm going to go ahead and get out 5 buttons, and I'm going to add them to the negative side of my mat because I'm adding negative 5. Now we're not finished. We have to figure out what the sum is. And we're going to do that by figuring out how we can get one of these sides, either the positive or the negative side, to equal 0. And we can do that by creating 0 pairs. So if I have a positive and a negative, those equal 0. So they cancel out. I'm going to move them off of my mat. I see another 0 pair, a positive and negative equal to 0. I'll move them away from my mat. I have another positive and a negative. I'll cancel those to 0. And I see another positive and a negative. Those cancel to 0. Now I can't make any more 0 pairs, so now I can figure out my sum. 4 plus negative 5 equals negative, I see that right there, negative 1. Now let's solve this problem. I'll go ahead and reset my buttons. All right, let's start with negative 2. I'll place 2 different buttons on the negative side of my mat, and I'm going to add 6. We have to ask students, is this positive 6 or negative 6? It's positive 6 because there's no negative symbol in front of the number 6. So I'll go ahead and add 6 buttons right over here. There we go. All right, so now we have to figure out our sum. We're going to create 0 pairs to get either the negative or positive side to equal 0. Here's a positive and a negative. Those equal 0. I see another positive and a negative. Those make a 0 pair. They equal 0. So when I have negative 2 plus 6, our sum is 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to be positive 4. So that was an example of how we can use a mat that has a positive and a negative side to add integers. I hope you'll tune into some of our other STAIR Tailoreds where you can see subtraction of integers, multiplication of integers, and division of integers.